My friend Andrea from Just Suck It has been working on a new soil for succulents, and she was kind enough to send me a bag. You can see all the ingredients listed out here. The purpose in creating this soil is because she felt like the gritty mix that I typically recommend for succulents wasn't holding on to quite as much water, and that she had to water too frequently if she was using that mix. So she sent me a package of this soil to test out. And she told me if I had a succulent that wasn't looking so great, try potting it up in this and see if it would help it recover. So I'm putting it to the test. I have a very, very sad looking Haworthia. This has been severely underwatered. It's really just not looking good. So super dehydrated. You can see there's a bunch of little chicks along here. So I'm gonna try potting these in this soil. I'm also gonna plant some succulents that are doing well in the soil and give them a comparison and see how things go. I am notorious for underwatering succulents, so having a soil that holds a little bit more water in it for a little bit longer is probably a good option for me. But I'm so used to using the gritty mix, and I've had a lot of success with it, as have a lot of my viewers and readers. And it's really a great option if you tend to overwater your succulents. But I think this will be a great option for those who know how to water their succulents and water them appropriately, but also want to wait longer in between watering. I've removed as much of the original soil as I can from these little Haworthia, and I've loosened up the roots a bit as well. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the bag and put some soil in here. Now, here's kind of a close-up of these two soils. You can see there's a lot more organic material in Andrea's soil than there is in Jack's soil. And like I said, I think they're both good soils. It just depends on what your watering frequency and your tendencies are with your succulents. I realized I put a little too much in here. I need to put my plant in first. There we have a nicely potted succulent. The succulent might not look super nice, but it is well potted. And like I will with any succulent, I'm gonna wait a day before I water this. The plant itself is very, very dry. It hasn't been watered probably for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month or 2. It's been a while. I don't know when I watered it last because I didn't put it in the Succulent Tracker app. But the soil is just slightly damp, and because it's so organic, I think it'll actually start picking up some water right away. But to protect the roots, I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to water it. Now that it is potted up, I'm gonna add it to the Succulent Tracker app. And the great thing about this is I will be able to indicate on here that I am using Andrea's soil instead of Bonsai Jack mix. Technically, I could put in every soil mix that I use and record that. But because I typically use Bonsai Jack mix for everything, it's probably not necessary for me to add a tag to all of them. I don't know exactly what this plant is. I do know it is a Haworthia, so we'll put that in for now. And then under tags, I'm gonna put Magic Succulent Soil. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put that I repotted it today. Now with this, I'm gonna water it tomorrow, but otherwise, I'm probably gonna water this, I'm gonna say every 15 days. We'll do 14, that's a nice even number for now, which is typically how frequently I water my Haworthias that are inside. Because this is in a more organic mix, I will probably water it less frequently, and that's kind of the goal. But because it's also so dehydrated, it's gonna need a little pick-me-up for the first few weeks. I think the soil is gonna help with that a lot. But it'll be interesting to see how it changes over the next few weeks as I continue to care for it. Because this is a plant that I want to keep track of over time and see how it evolves, my goal is to take a photo of it once a week and add them to the Succulent Tracker app. So that way I have a photo history so I can see the progression of the plant over time. I'm gonna set a little reminder in my phone to make sure I take the picture, and that will help me get a really good feel for how this grows in the new soil. I'm gonna go put it on the plant stand. It'll be under grow lights about 18 inches above the plant for 12 hours a day, and I'll give you an update after a few weeks and a few months.